In today's world, privacy seems to be a concept that's slowly slipping away. Everywhere we look, people are broadcasting their lives, sharing their thoughts, and giving a play-by-play of their every move. It's become a norm to open up, to be vulnerable, to let everyone in. But there's an often overlooked truth that I want you to understand. You have the right to guard your privacy. Privacy isn't just about keeping secrets, it's about protecting your peace. In a culture that demands transparency and instant sharing, we can forget how essential it is to have moments, thoughts, and emotions that are entirely ours. We need spaces where we can recharge, reflect, and process the complexities of life without the scrutiny or input of others. When you share everything with everyone, you leave yourself open to being misunderstood, misjudged, and even manipulated. There's something powerful in maintaining control over what others know about you. Guarding your privacy isn't about being secretive or distant, but about recognizing that some parts of your journey are sacred. Not every detail of your life needs to be on display. Not every vulnerability should be exposed to the world. You are allowed to have parts of you that are only seen by the people you trust most, or by God, who sees all and understands all. Privacy also acts as a safeguard. In a world where people's opinions can be influenced by the smallest pieces of information, protecting your privacy means you're not giving others the ammunition to judge you, criticize you, or make assumptions about your life. We live in an age where snap judgments are made from snippets of what we choose to reveal. A single post, a casual comment, or a brief glimpse into your world can lead to a flood of opinions from people who don't truly know you. By holding some things back, you preserve your ability to be understood on your own terms, not on the terms that others want to impose on you. It's also important to realize that when you share everything, you might be sacrificing your authenticity. People will often expect you to be who they think you are based on what they know, not who you truly are at the core. The more you reveal, the more you risk having others define you by those limited glimpses. When you guard your privacy, you maintain the ability to shape your own narrative. Your value, your decisions, and your purpose are not up for grabs or open for public debate. You get to decide what parts of you are shared and when. In addition, privacy allows you to maintain your emotional well-being. Not everything that happens to you needs to be validated or commented on by others. Some moments of growth, failure, or personal triumph should remain private so that you can process them in peace. Sharing too much too quickly can lead to unnecessary stress, pressure, or the weight of people's opinions that you were never meant to carry. When you give yourself permission to keep certain things private, you allow yourself the space to heal, to grow, and to evolve without external interference. Finally, privacy cultivates a sense of personal sovereignty. By deciding what parts of yourself you reveal and to whom, you take back control of your life. You refuse to let others dictate how much of you they can know or how much access they have to your world. You get to choose what feels right for you and what stays within your personal space. It's an act of self-respect to guard your privacy. And it reinforces your sense of dignity and autonomy in a world that's all too eager to pry. In a world that thrives on immediate access and constant transparency, there's a quiet power in mystery. It may seem counterintuitive, especially in an age where social media and constant communication encourage us to share everything, yet the strength found in mystery is something deeper, something more enduring. It's not about hiding your true self or being secretive for the sake of it, but rather understanding the power of preserving a level of mystery that keeps others intrigued, respectful, and ultimately in awe. Mystery creates space for curiosity. When you allow parts of your life to remain undisclosed, you leave room for people to wonder, to question, and to seek understanding. Think about the most compelling stories or personalities you know. What makes them so captivating? It's not just the parts they choose to share, but the pieces they withhold. There's an allure in not knowing everything right away. People are naturally drawn to that sense of mystery because it keeps them engaged. It invites deeper reflection and connection rather than instant conclusions. When we give away too much too quickly, we risk losing that sense of wonder. People feel like they've already seen all that you are, and once the mystery is gone, so is their interest. But when you keep certain parts of yourself hidden, when you reserve the right to surprise and reveal yourself in layers, people pay attention. They want to know more. They are intrigued by what's beneath the surface. And that mystery gives you an edge. It ensures that you're not easily defined by one moment, one action, or one version of yourself. You remain dynamic, unpredictable, and captivating. Strength in mystery also lies in the way it preserves your boundaries. People can't overstep or take advantage of you when they don't have full access to your world. When you keep certain things private, it's a natural way to protect your emotional energy, your thoughts, and your dreams. You decide when and how to open up. And that's powerful because it means you're in control, not the person who's asking the questions or demanding answers. This mystery keeps your sense of self intact. It prevents you from being fragmented or reduced to a label based on what others think they know about you. Furthermore, mystery helps you stay grounded in your own purpose. When you focus on your mission and not on seeking validation or sharing every step along the way, you find clarity. There's no need to explain every decision or path you take, especially when you know it's part of something bigger. It allows you to act with confidence and strength because you're not constantly performing for the approval or understanding of others. You trust that the right people will see you for who you truly are when the time is right. And that's where the power lies. And that's where the competition is. That's where the competition is. There's also protection in mystery. When you reveal too much of your life, your thoughts, or your emotions, it opens you up to external influence, sometimes in ways that can be harmful. People may project their own insecurities, opinions, or judgments onto you, and suddenly you're no longer seen through your own lens, but through the distorted views of others. Mystery acts as a shield, allowing you to navigate the world with greater peace of mind, knowing that not everything about you is up for grabs. You hold on to the parts of yourself that are sacred, allowing them to develop and grow at their own pace without the interference of outside forces. In essence, strength in mystery is about finding the balance between being open and being reserved. It's about knowing that not every detail of your life should be shared with everyone and understanding that there is immense value in holding on to certain parts of yourself. When you embrace this concept, you don't lose who you are. You strengthen your presence in the world. You remain whole, unique, and powerful. Not because you hide, but because you've chosen what to reveal and when. In a world constantly filled with distractions, staying focused on your purpose is not just important, it's essential. Every day, you're bombarded with messages, opinions, expectations, and countless opportunities. It's easy to get sidetracked, to veer off course, or to become overwhelmed by what everyone else is doing. But here's the truth. Your purpose is unique, and it's the one thing that should command your full attention. When you focus on your purpose, you begin to filter out the noise. The things that don't align with your vision for your life naturally start to fade into the background. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop worrying about what's trending or what people think. And you start to live from a place of intentionality. Your purpose becomes the compass that guides every decision you make. Intention is like having a clear map when everyone else is walking around aimlessly, unsure of where they're headed. The key to staying focused on your purpose is understanding the depth of your calling. Many people spend years searching for their purpose, but once you recognize it, there's a profound sense of clarity. You don't need to explain it to everyone. You don't need their approval. You simply need to stay true to what you were created to do. Your purpose is the foundation for everything you do in life. It's the reason you wake up every day, the force that propels you through challenges, and the vision that keeps you moving forward when things get tough. One of the biggest distractions from your purpose is the need to please others. It's so easy to get caught up in what people expect from you, to live according to their standards, and to chase after goals that aren't your own. But when you live for the approval of others, you're not living in alignment with your true purpose. You're living according to someone else's version of success, and that will never lead to fulfillment. Focus on what's meant for you. Let go of the need for validation, and instead invest your energy into what truly matters: your purpose. Another thing that can derail your focus is the temptation to over-explain yourself. When you know your purpose, there's no need to constantly defend or justify it to others. You don't need to convince anyone of your vision or explain why you're taking the path you've chosen. People will always have opinions, but the more you try to explain yourself, the more you risk losing sight of your own direction. Instead, trust that your actions will speak louder than any explanation ever could. When you focus on your purpose, you don't need to prove anything. Your purpose will reveal itself in time. Staying focused on your purpose also requires a level of discipline and intentionality. It's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasures, temporary rewards, or the opinions of those around you. But real fulfillment comes when you stay the course, even when things get hard or uncomfortable. The challenges you face are often part of the process of fulfilling your purpose. They refine you, stretch you, and prepare you for what's ahead. The more you stay focused, the stronger your resolve becomes. You realize that every obstacle is not a setback, but a step toward your ultimate calling. Finally, focusing on your purpose allows you to filter your relationships and commitments. Not everyone is meant to walk with you on this journey. Some people will try to pull you in directions that stray from your path, while others will support and encourage you to keep going. When you stay focused on your purpose, you become more discerning about who you allow into your life and how you spend your time. You protect your energy and invest it in what will move you closer to the fulfillment of your calling. Your purpose is the greatest gift you have. It gives you clarity, direction, and a reason to keep going even when the road gets tough. It's not always easy to stay focused, especially when distractions seem endless. But the more you center your life around your purpose, the more you realize that everything else falls into place. In a world that often blurs the lines between work, personal life, and social obligations, the concept of boundaries has become more important than ever. Boundaries are not just about saying no, they are about defining and protecting your space, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Without boundaries, you risk losing yourself in the demands and expectations of others, becoming overwhelmed, burnt out, and disconnected from your true self. Boundaries are not a luxury. They are a necessity for maintaining a healthy, balanced, and fulfilling life. And I think boundaries can be the most powerful thing in a healthy relationship. At the core of boundaries is the principle of self-respect. Setting clear boundaries is an act of honoring yourself and your needs. It's a way of saying, I know what I need to be healthy, and I'm willing to prioritize that. When you don't set boundaries, you allow other people to dictate your time, energy, and emotions. You end up bending to their will, often at the expense of your own well-being. But when you set boundaries, you take ownership of your life. You decide what you will and won't tolerate, what you will and won't give, and what your limits are. Boundaries also serve as a safeguard for your emotional health. It's easy to get caught up in the drama or demands of those around you. People can be demanding, whether it's family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. And they can often push you beyond what you're comfortable with. When you fail to set emotional boundaries, you open yourself up to being drained by others. Their problems become your problems. Their stress becomes your stress. And before you know it, you've lost sight of your own emotions and needs. By establishing emotional boundaries, you protect your heart and mind from becoming overloaded. You allow yourself the space to process your own feelings without constantly absorbing the emotional weight of others. Boundaries also play a crucial role in your personal growth and sense of purpose. Without them, you're more likely to get sidetracked, pulled off course by the distractions of others' opinions and desires. When you set firm boundaries, you make space for the things that truly matter to you. Whether it's dedicating time to your career, your family, your faith, or your personal passions, boundaries give you the discipline to stay focused on your goals. They prevent you from becoming overly available to everyone else's needs, leaving you with the time and energy to nurture your own purpose. Setting boundaries is also about protecting your physical health. In a world that glorifies being busy and constantly on the go, it can be tempting to say yes to every request and fill every minute of your day with activities and responsibilities. But this relentless pace can quickly lead to burnout. When you have clear boundaries around your time, you create space for rest, recovery, and relaxation. You allow yourself the opportunity to recharge and replenish your physical energy, which is essential for maintaining long-term productivity and happiness. Without boundaries, your health, physical and mental, will suffer. Moreover, boundaries are essential for cultivating healthy relationships. When you don't set boundaries, you risk becoming a doormat, constantly giving without receiving or feeling resentful of others' demands. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and part of that respect comes from recognizing and honoring each other's boundaries. Setting clear limits allows you to engage in relationships that are reciprocal, where both parties give and take in a balanced way. It prevents the toxic cycle of overcommitting, overextending, and feeling unappreciated. Boundaries help you create relationships that are grounded in respect, trust, and understanding. Finally, boundaries help you build a sense of autonomy and control over your life. They empower you to say no when necessary, to assert your needs, and to make choices that align with your values. They give you the confidence to stand firm in the face of pressure or manipulation and allow you to protect your personal space without feeling guilty. Boundaries give you the strength to walk in your own truth unapologetically. In every aspect of life, relationships play a central role, whether personal, professional, or casual. The people we allow into our lives influence who we become and how we experience the world. Yet not all relationships are meant to last or to have the same level of access to our hearts, minds, and time. Discernment in relationships is about being intentional and wise in how we choose who to trust, who to invest in, and who to keep at a distance. It's the ability to see beyond surface appearances and understand the deeper nature of people, recognizing who is aligned with your values, your purpose, and your well-being. One of the first aspects of discernment in relationships is the awareness that not everyone in your life is there to contribute positively. In every relationship, whether a friendship, a family connection, or a business partnership, there is an exchange of energy. Not all exchanges are equal. Some relationships will uplift you, encourage your growth, and support your journey. Others, however, may drain you, hinder your progress, or even take advantage of your kindness. Discernment helps you identify these differences and gives you the wisdom to choose where to invest your time and energy. Not every relationship is worth your emotional investment, and it's essential to recognize when a relationship is no longer serving you in a healthy way. Discernment is a huge part of transforming the lives of angels in a healthy way. Discernment also helps you understand the role of each person in your life. Some relationships are meant to be deeply personal, built on trust, vulnerability, and long-term commitment. Others may be more casual, offering companionship or support without the expectation of intimacy. The key is knowing what kind of relationship you have with someone and not forcing it to be something it's not. You have to discern where each person fits in your life and what kind of boundaries and expectations should accompany that relationship. Not everyone should have the same level of access to your heart. And understanding this can prevent unnecessary pain and disappointment. Another critical element of discernment is understanding the difference between genuine connection and superficial connection. In today's world, it's easy to form surface level relationships through social media or casual encounters. But discernment allows you to see past the surface and into the heart of a relationship. Genuine connections are marked by trust, respect, and mutual understanding. These relationships encourage growth and honesty, where both people feel safe to be their authentic selves. Superficial connections, on the other hand, often revolve around convenience, status, or mutual benefit without a foundation of true care or respect. Discernment helps you distinguish between these two types of relationships so that you can foster deeper, more meaningful connections. In the context of discernment, it's also important to trust your instincts. Often we may feel a sense of unease or discomfort about a relationship, even when everything appears fine on the surface. Our intuition can act as a guide in these moments, alerting us to potential issues or imbalances that we may not have fully recognized with our rational minds. This is not to say that we should act purely on gut feelings, but rather that discernment involves a balance of emotional intelligence, intuition, and rational thought. When you listen to your inner voice, you can often avoid entering relationships that may not be in your best interest. Furthermore, discernment in relationships helps you navigate conflict. No relationship is free of challenges, but how we handle those challenges reveals a lot about the strength and health of the relationship. Discernment allows you to evaluate the potential for growth within a relationship after conflict arises. Is the relationship capable of evolving through communication and mutual understanding? Or is it one where patterns of toxicity and harm continue? Knowing when to walk away from a relationship or when to invest time and effort into repairing it is a critical skill. And discernment is the tool that enables you to make these decisions wisely. Finally, discernment in relationships helps you protect your energy. We all have a limited amount of time and emotional resources. By being discerning about who we allow into our inner circle, we can conserve our energy for the relationships and interactions that truly matter. Protecting your energy doesn't mean isolating yourself or becoming distrustful of everyone around you, but it does mean making intentional choices about where to direct your attention, love, and care. With discernment, you become more selective about the relationships that nourish you and less focused on those that drain you. This protection of your emotional and mental space is vital for long-term well-being. Self-protection is one of the most crucial aspects of maintaining mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. In a world where we are constantly exposed to external influences, opinions, expectations, criticisms, and even judgments, it is essential to create a strong internal foundation that allows us to navigate life with confidence, clarity, and peace. Self-protection is not about building walls or becoming disconnected from others. Rather, it is about safeguarding your heart, your mind, and your energy from harm, ensuring that you remain grounded in your truth and purpose. One of the first aspects of self-protection is emotional boundaries. Without boundaries, others can take advantage of your kindness, time, or emotional energy. When you're too open or too willing to give of yourself, you may find yourself drained, overwhelmed, and depleted. Learning to say no when necessary and setting limits on what you are willing to give is a powerful act of self-protection. It is not selfish to prioritize your emotional health. In fact, it's essential. By setting clear boundaries, you ensure that your energy is preserved for the relationships and commitments that are most important to you, rather than being constantly stretched thin by demands from others. Another important component of self-protection is the ability to guard your heart. The people we allow into our lives have the power to either uplift us or hurt us. And the more vulnerable we are, the greater the potential for pain. Protecting your heart doesn't mean building walls to keep others out, but rather being discerning about who gets access to your innermost thoughts and feelings. You don't have to share every detail of your life with everyone, and not everyone deserves to know your deepest struggles or dreams. When you guard your heart, you ensure that it remains a safe space where only those who truly care for you and have your best interests at heart can enter. Self-protection also involves cultivating a strong sense of self-worth. When you know your value, you become less susceptible to criticism or negative influences. Too often, people seek validation from others, allowing external opinions to define their worth. However, when you protect your sense of self-worth, you recognize that your value is not contingent upon the approval of others. Your worth is intrinsic. It comes from within. By building up your own sense of self-esteem, you fortify yourself against the negativity or rejection that may come your way. No one can shake your confidence when you are rooted in your own worth. Another key aspect of self-protection is mental fortitude. The world is full of noise, distractions, and influences that can easily pull us off course. Negative thoughts, doubts, or fears can creep in, threatening to derail us from our purpose and goals. Self-protection requires you to actively guard your mind, choosing which thoughts to entertain and which ones to discard. It means learning to silence the inner critic, refusing to let negativity or self-doubt dominate your thinking. It also involves being selective about the information you consume, whether it's the people you listen to, the media you engage with, or the conversations you participate in. Your mind is a precious resource, and protecting it from harmful influences allows you to stay focused on your goals and your peace. In addition, self-protection involves knowing when to walk away from situations or people that are toxic or harmful. Not every relationship is meant to last, and not every situation deserves your time and energy. Sometimes the most protective thing you can do for yourself is to distance yourself from negativity, manipulation, or environments that drain you. This could mean ending a relationship, stepping back from a toxic work environment, or choosing to disengage from people who do not respect your boundaries. Walking away is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of self-respect and self-preservation. Lastly, self-protection includes taking care of your physical health. Our bodies are the vessels through which we experience life, and neglecting our physical well-being can have far-reaching effects on our emotional and mental health. Prioritizing rest, exercise, and nutrition is an essential form of self-protection. When you care for your body, you build the strength and resilience needed to face life's challenges. Taking time to rest and recharge ensures that you are equipped to handle the stresses that come your way without becoming overwhelmed or burnt out. Self-protection is not about isolating yourself or becoming overly guarded. It is about creating the space, the awareness, and the strength to navigate life in a way that preserves your peace, your purpose, and your well-being. By protecting your heart, mind, and body, you ensure that you are equipped to show up fully in the world without compromising your integrity or your sense of self. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, the idea of waiting can feel counterproductive, even frustrating. We are conditioned to want things right away, whether it's success, answers, relationships, or breakthroughs. Yet one of the most profound lessons we can learn in life is to embrace God's timing. Trusting in the divine rhythm of life requires patience, faith, and an understanding that things unfold according to a greater plan, one that is often beyond our immediate comprehension. Embracing God's timing means releasing the illusion that we are in control of everything. Our natural instinct is to plan, schedule, and make things happen. We set goals and create deadlines, believing that by pushing harder or working faster, we can accelerate the process. However, when we surrender to God's timing, we acknowledge that there are seasons in life that can't be rushed. The right things happen at the right moment, and there is power in trusting that God knows exactly when each chapter of our life should unfold. There's a purpose behind every waiting period, and often the delay is not a sign of denial, but a divine opportunity for growth, preparation, or even protection. When we embrace God's timing, we recognize that delays or detours are not setbacks, they are part of the process. Sometimes we find ourselves waiting for something we believe is essential for our happiness, and the silence can feel overwhelming. But in those moments, we must remember that God's timing is always aligned with His perfect will for us. The waiting period allows us to become more equipped for what's ahead, preparing us emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Without that preparation, we may not be ready to handle the blessings and responsibilities that are meant for us. Furthermore, embracing God's timing means cultivating patience and trust. Patience is not simply about waiting, but about maintaining a spirit of peace and trust throughout the waiting process. It's easy to grow anxious or frustrated when things don't happen according to our plan, but trusting in God's timing means letting go of the need to force outcomes. It's a constant reminder that God sees the bigger picture while we may only see a small portion of our journey. In His timing, the right doors will open, the right people will come into our lives, and the right opportunities will present themselves. Our job is to trust that He knows what's best for us and that we are exactly where we need to be in this moment. Embracing God's timing also involves understanding that His plan often surpasses our own desires. We might have a specific vision for our life with a clear set of expectations, but God often works in ways that are far greater than we can imagine. The delay we experience might be because God is preparing something better than we ever thought possible. It's essential to hold on to the faith that God's way is always the best way, even when we can't see how things will come together. Our plans may seem good, but His plans are always greater, and His timing is perfect. Trusting in this allows us to release the burden of forcing things to happen on our own timeline. God's timing also teaches us the beauty of surrender. In our culture, surrender can often be viewed as weakness or defeat, but in the context of faith, surrender is an act of strength and trust. Surrendering to God's timing means we no longer fight against the process, but instead we allow ourselves to be led by Him. We let go of our need to control and instead embrace the peace that comes with knowing that God is in control. So when we let go, this surrender opens the door to joy, peace, and fulfillment as we learn to walk in the rhythm of His will. Finally, embracing God's timing teaches us to be present in each moment. While we often focus on what's next, on the future and the outcome, God's timing helps us slow down and appreciate the present. It encourages us to grow in the here and now, to learn the lessons that are available to us today, and to be grateful for where we are. Amen. Trusting in God's timing reminds us that everything has a purpose and that every season, whether of waiting, growth, or joy, is part of the larger tapestry of our lives. In life, embracing boundaries, self-protection, discernment in relationships, and trusting in God's timing are essential for maintaining balance, peace, and purpose. By setting boundaries, we preserve our energy and well-being, protecting ourselves from harm. Discernment allows us to navigate relationships wisely, ensuring they align with our values. Self-protection strengthens our sense of self-worth and guards our mental and emotional health. Finally, embracing God's timing helps us trust in the divine process, knowing that everything unfolds as it should. Together, these principles guide us toward a life of fulfillment, resilience, and spiritual growth.